Evening all, it's Louise here with another episode of Straighten Your Crown Tarot. Right, the subscribers are starting to creep up again. Thank you very much to those of you who've checked that you're still subscribed and resubscribed if not, etc. Thank you to all those who watch my videos, particularly the Straighten Your Crown massive crew that sit and watch through all the adverts all the way to the end every single time, because without you doing that, this channel wouldn't make the money it makes. And for if you're new to this channel, just to let you know that it's not me that takes the revenue. Well, I do take the revenue, but then I send it on to a very, very, very worthy cause called Help for Homeless Veterans. They are a very small charity. They don't pay CEOs hundreds of thousands of pounds every year. There's just one man, a veteran himself, Steve, and a few volunteers raising money for homeless veterans in this area of England, Yorkshire. They have almost secured themselves a property with which they can place homeless veterans in dire need into this property where they can live until they can be found suitable accommodation, support, etc. It's marvellous news, and although we don't send them thousands every month, we send them a little bit of money every month through the revenue in this channel. All of the revenue goes to them, and every little bit helps. The revenue that's going towards them this month won't be as much as it has been, and that's because I've spent several weeks not actually uploading any videos because of illness. That illness continues, however not as severe at the moment, which is why I'm doing a reading now, because I don't know what I'm going to be like in an hour's time. So here we are. I promised you a trilogy of readings. We looked at, oh God, I can't remember. Shabana Mahmood. Is she likely to become the next Prime Minister? That reading came up with a not likely. We looked at Angela Rayner. Is she likely to become the Prime Minister? She's got some very favourable cards. And today's video, I'm looking at Ed Miliband, or Ed Milliwatt, because he's the famous or infamous net zero nutter. And because of their policies, his policies, the way he's going about it, we are all very, very poor heading into winter with the prices of gas and electric going through the roof. A lot of that price is actually the net zero tariff rather than the actual price of gas and electricity. So I want to have a little look and see what Ed Miliband's chances are of becoming the next Prime Minister, because the assumption here is that Keir Starmer is going out the door at some point. We don't know whether it's going to be before Christmas. We don't know whether it's going to be after the May elections. When he first came into power, I said he wouldn't last till Christmas. Really thought he'd be gone by now. I actually really felt that he'd be gone by Christmas. Not sure what Christmas that is now at this stage. But he's recently said that he's hoping to take the country, lead the country into 2034. Please, can we go out and vote, everyone? Go out and vote. It's definitely the tarot today going first. Oh, I forgot to say, the tarot, this is the tarot, is a Tarot of Mystical Moments by Catherine Weltstein. And the oracle cards are the Oracle of Mystical Moments by Catherine Weltstein. I may pull a predictions card from Trisha James after the reading, but for now, we're just going with these two. See how I feel. Right, I'm sticking with the same cards because I believe I've had the same cards for all three. and I just want to stick to the vibe of the same cards. I've had 2 answers from these cards. I want a 3rd answer from these cards, and then I will change the cards up a bit for the next reading, which I don't know what it's going to be yet. So any suggestions, please put them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you're feeling generous, watch the video all the way through if you can be bothered, because that's where the sweet spot is, where the revenue is concerned. I'm not taking the revenue for myself. I work. It goes straight to charity, every penny. The only money that I do keep is the membership money. And members, yes, I am conscious I haven't done a members only. I'm still not well enough. I'm going to make a plan to do a really good long one. Perhaps, hopefully, not next week, because I don't think I'm going to be well enough by then, but I think I'm turning the corner. So hopefully, I'm hoping to do a really long members only, upwards 2 hours or so of members only content, where I'm going to be talking you through kinesiology and anything else that you might want to talk about. I'm also looking into being able to bring people in from the members, like a video call type thing. Haven't worked out how to do it. So if any of you at all have got any help for me with that, then please email me and let me know. Unless you're what's it called? Unless you're a moderator. If you're a moderator that knows how these things work, you've got my number, you know how to contact me. Right, we've got the Magician, we've got the 9 of Pentacles, we've got the Devil, and we've got the 5 of Swords. Right, the Magician is about manifesting. It's the Magi, magician. He's the master of all the sous, the wands, the pentacles, the swords, and the cups. If you look at this card, we've got a swan. You know, this is haunting me. This swans mate for life. And then somebody said in the comments of the last time when I was drawn to a swan, but I wasn't quite reaching the message that swans are all owned by the king. We've got a butterfly for transformation. We've got somebody wearing a magic hat. We've got the magician's hat. And we've got someone holding that magician's hat. So someone's manipulating the magician, if you like. She's the magician. She's holding a swan. Right. Why am I seeing protections for the king being taken away, or protections from royalty being removed, transformed, changed? Why am I seeing that? Why are you telling me about the king? I'm not reaching that message. Right. I'm going to put that there like that, because this might become more apparent. But the magician is traditionally about manifesting. It's about being, you know, in the right place mentally, emotionally, to manifest your desires. But this magicians can also be tricksters, and magicians can also be tricked. I think here where Miliband's concerned is that he believes he's on a roll. He's been led to believe that he's, oh, right. He's been led to believe that he's actually on a roll and he's number one in the queue for Prime Minister. He missed his opportunity once before. And he's been working his way into that, trying to get to that spot again ever since. It feels like it's been a bit of a bone of contention for him. And it feels like he's trying to trick his way into it. Yeah. But where the Labour Party have transformed in lots of ways, original Labour Party was about the working class, making sure the working class got a decent deal out of life. They're now the Labour Party seems to be a very middle class, elite led party now. It's like the working classes have been left behind, but it's only a specific section of the working class, because those public sector workers haven't been left behind. And it's all to do with the unions bankrolling the Labour Party. Right. So what I've got with this card is that Miliband's thinking he's got the Midas touch, but he's been led to believe he has. So there's a trickster thing going on here. It's almost as if someone else knows that they're more likely to get that position, but they're quite happy to let him believe that he is next in line to the throne. That's where the swan comes in. Yeah. Not next in line to the throne literally, but next in line to the throne as the Prime Minister. Right, now I get it. Well, we've got this butterfly on this card, which is transformation. So there is some transformation coming to the Labour Party, for good or for bad. And that's where I'm going to leave that Magician card there. Then we've got the Nine of Pentacles. This is someone who's self-sufficient, doesn't rely on anybody for anything. Everything she needs, she's got wealth, she's got the food on the table, the roof over their head. She doesn't have to worry about keeping warm in winter. Being able to afford to take pets to the vets and all that kind of thing. Why did I say that? Pets to the vet. Well, I'll tell you why. Because one of my pugs, Humphrey, had an infection and it cost me 160 quid. And he came away with 4 painkiller tablets and 5 days worth of antibiotics. That needs looking at, doesn't it? Makes me wonder whether we're heading towards being frowned upon for having pets. I'm wondering if that's going to be the next thing to come. So we've got this. He thinks he's okay. Everything's in the garden is rosy. He's next in line for the throne. It's a given. He feels like he's got everything he wants. He is everything that the Labour Party wants and needs. He can do no wrong. And in Angela Rayner's words, they're going from strength to strength, especially with him in charge. That's a delusion on his part. As we all know, we've got the Devil card. This is an attachment. The Devil card is about attachment. It can be an attachment to a position in life. It can be attached to things, material things. It can be an attachment to a person. It can be an attachment to an idea. Any sort of attachment you can think of. It's an unhealthy relationship. It's an addiction to an attachment to drugs, alcohol, and like I say, but I'm not saying that's Ed Miliband. In actual fact, he has this attachment to this idea that he's next in line. So these three cards together are telling me that Ed Miliband is really, really a nut job. Now we know that we didn't need the cards to tell us that, but he's even more of a nutcase than we think he is. He's even more deluded than we expected him to be. And his party is allowing him to carry on believing these things about himself. And then we've got the Five of Swords. Fives are about challenges in tarot. Not necessarily in numerology, but in tarot, fives are a challenge. Fives are also about the mind, and swords are also about the mind. This is a mental challenge. There's a mental challenge coming to Ed Miliband. And I'm not going to say anything more about that until I get the next cards out. Where the hell have I put them? Oh, they're here. So, he thinks he's next in line. He thinks he's next in line to the throne. There is a transformation coming. He feels that he is the person. There is no other person in the Labour Party that could possibly be the next Prime Minister. He is it. But that's because he's attached to the idea of it. There's a mental challenge coming to Ed Miliband. It's a mental challenge. This might be a challenge to his worldview. It could be a challenge to his idea about himself. Because, like I say, the swords are about ideas, the mental realm. Right. Now we've got three cards in reverse. We've got the Lovers in reverse, we've got the Nine of Wands in reverse, and we've got the Emperor in reverse. Now, I noticed that I had my cards upside down when I picked them up again to shuffle them. Some readers would turn those all the right way around. But I'm a firm believer in, I didn't notice that until afterwards. And so they are meant to be in that position. Reversals are sometimes more difficult to read than uprights. I mean, so far I haven't even thought about what we've got on the table. So let's take these three. We've got the Magician. He's manifesting his position. He thinks he's got it in the bag. He thinks he's the only person that can do it. He cannot come up with an agreement because it means partnership. In order to get to the top spot, he needs a partnership. He needs to be in partnership with the rest of his party. That partnership isn't there for him. And then between the Nine of Pentacles and the Devil, we've got the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands in the upright is about putting up your defences, being defensive. We've got this attachment, this idea that, this self-belief like you've never known. The belief that we've got enough money in this country to sort of finance these mad ideas. He doesn't have the partnership. He's not being defended by his party. And then between the Devil, the attachment to this agenda that he's got, and this mental challenge is the fact that the mental challenge is he's not popular enough. And therefore, he's not going to be chosen. I would say with these cards, he's not going to be chosen to be the next leader of the Labour Party. Now, have I got them the right way around? Yes, I have. Yes. So Miliband thinks he's there. I think we had this one last time. Thinks he's there. He thinks it's there. We had that one last time. But he isn't, because he doesn't have an agreement with his party. There's no partnership with the rest of his party. They're not defending him. And they're not willing to give him the next leadership role. There we go. Right. Let me just move that one to one side. So between this lack of partnership and lack of defence for him, he's still going to come up smelling of roses. He's still going to come up smelling of roses. Why? Because he had a plan B that nobody's seen yet. He has a plan B for if this doesn't work out for him. He's got a plan B. What's the plan B? Go and live and work abroad. So David Miliband, David Milliwatt, David Millipede, or it's Ed Miliband, isn't it? David's his brother. Ed Millipede and Ed Milliwatt is not going to get the adoration he's almost certain that he's got. He's going to get a bit of a shock. It's going to cause him a bit of mental tension. However, he already had a plan B, which is probably more lucrative than being Prime Minister. Prime Minister's a really nice title, but it doesn't earn the coin that he's going to earn. And I think he's going to carry on with the net zero bullshit, but it's going to be abroad. It's going to be financed by some very, very rich people. And I would say that would be in the Middle East. Don't ask me how I'm saying that's the Middle East. So let's have an oracle card. Ed Miliband. So it's not looking like he's going to be the next Prime Minister. So far, according to this tarot at least, and don't forget it's for entertainment purposes only, so far it's not Shabana Mahmood. It's not going to be Ed Miliband. It's going to be, if it's going to be anybody out of those three, it'll be Angela Rayner. There are other people in the background though, because there's talk of Sadiq Khan running for Member of Parliament in the May elections, and letting go of his mayoral role because he's got to be an MP. There's also talk of Andy Burnham letting go of his mayoral role in order to run for an MP's position after cocking up London and Manchester, the pair of them. I'm sure there'll be some dickhead somewhere that's going to want to vote for them and have absolutely no idea and not really looked into any of their backgrounds and what they've not achieved and how they've upset the apple cart. Sadiq Khan's ruined London. Andy Burnham's ruined Manchester. And not to mention Andy Burnham and Sadiq Khan have both stuck their head up their arses when it comes to the grooming gangs. Look the other way and done the very, very best to make sure everybody else does. We've got Eva. Oh, I don't know if I like that card. Eva, number 16. Wrong number. 13, 14, 15. Oh, come on. Open. Eva. One of the jungle steps out of the jungle steps a woman, half of her body covered with exotic plants and flowers. A snake wriggles around her neck. The woman presents herself like a sweet fruit to be picked. She offers excitement and novelty, but be careful. Her kiss could be as toxic as the bite of a snake, like a deceitful friend or lover. Her unreadable countenance masks her true intentions. And I think that's where this comes in. This comes in here. This first line tells it all. He thinks he's in line. He thinks he's in line for the throne. He's been allowed to believe that. Everything in the garden's rosy in his mind. He's got everything. He's got a roof over his head. He's got the public paying for his bills. He's happy as a pig in shit. But that's because he's got an attachment. He's not wanting to see what's really going on. They're allowing him to see that because there's something else going on. The lack of partnership, the lack of defence, the rejection from his party is down to the fact that he's just been a useful, what's the word? He's just been useful to the party. As I suppose, I don't know why at one point how he's useful to the party, but he's been useful to the party, so they've used him. So he's being used, but what they don't realise is he's got a plan B, and he'll be off somewhere. He will always be all right. Whenever he's got a hole in his arse, he will be all right, because these sorts of snake people are. They always are. They've always got somebody protecting them. It's us that need each other. They don't need anybody. They've already got, like, I don't know, secret linking societies, trouser leg rolled up, dodgy handshake stuff. Do you know what I mean? Right, I've dropped a load on the floor. Just give me a minute. I'm not taking 4, 5. I do like these cards, but they are dead slippy. I wish you'd make them in different, in a different type of card stock. I'm just gonna shuffle them and see what we get. Ed Miliband, please. Let's have a look. We've got food shortage. These prediction cards don't all work security cameras. I don't think these two are relevant. I don't think they're relevant to the reading. Fake news. I think this might be something that we need to watch out for, perhaps. Maybe we're going to see things in the news either just before or just after Christmas telling us that we are dangerously short of food. Something to do with digital ID. There's or people stealing. I think this is to do with shoplifting. I think this is a separate thing to this reading. I think there's going to be a highlighting of crime, shoplifting and other crime. I think there's going to be a scare tactic coming in, basically like they did during COVID when they said there's no food on the shelves and everybody bought old toilet roll, that kind of thing. I think they're trying to do that to scare people. And when people are scared, they accept more control. What type of control are we talking about? They are desperate to get digital ID in here. And it isn't for the reasons that they say, it's for nefarious reasons. Watch out for another psyop coming in to frighten you to death, to make you believe that crime's higher than it is, to make you believe that there's, less food than there is, to make everybody go out panic buy and act like dickheads, like a lot of people did during COVID. I don't blame them for that. We all, for long enough, we were told we were all going to die. Horrible, horrific deaths. And if we didn't die, we're going to kill the most vulnerable in our society. Take no notice. It is coming. There is going to be fake news, and some of it's going to be AI generated in order to facilitate a reaction, to scare you to death. Like I said, because when people are scared, they happily accept higher levels of control. And just like prices, when prices go up, when the prices drop again, the prices in the shops never drop, right? Once people have accepted control, those shackles will never be released. Please beware. Please beware of what's happening. There's a few things going on at the moment. Starmer's going on about making Andrew go to America to testify about Epstein. I think that's a red herring. I think that's there to make us look in that direction while something shit's happening behind our backs. And we owe a huge debt of gratitude to our citizen journalists, the ones who are doing the digging, the investigative journalists, not the ones who are being paid to spout the shit at us. Something big's coming here, and it's going to be a massive test of us. Are we going to give in to fear that's being spouted at us, or are we going to feel the gut feeling, know in our heart of hearts it's a load of bollocks, and not go in the direction that they're wanting us to go in? It's a very, very precarious position we're all in right now. I'm feeling it's a very precarious position. I know that's got nothing to do with Ed Miliband, but it's all part and parcel of this government and the last government that wanted to bring this in. It's not just Labour. This is Tory. They've been championing each other. They might talk ill of each other in front of the camera, but behind closed doors, they're snakes, the fucking lot of them. Right, I'm going. I'll speak to you later. Have a good one. Take care. Ta-ra!